Dare to be different, dare to be free, dare to roam far like wind on the sea, fly like a gull, soar high on the air, be strong in your courage when others despair. I have a love who's far away, far away, far away. I have a love who's far away, farther away than the star. That song was so powerful, and I sing it in various solo events. Swami had a particular mission for me personally that I'm just beginning to realize in this life as Ram in the 46 years I've been at Ananda at this moment of eternity. And that mission that Swamiji told me personally took place, he told me this in Gurgaon, India in September of 2004. I had been recording an album in Gurgaon of the spirituals of America. These are the so-called Negro spirituals that have been passed down from the time of slavery, born out of great suffering. And in that suffering, this music came as an expression of overcoming the pain and the suffering that these individuals were, and so they wrote these songs. Swamiji loved many of these songs, and Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, as I said about the Yosemite, he would sing these songs periodically. And so during this recording session of the Spirituals of America, Swamiji was in attendance, and he advised me how to sing each one of the spirituals in the way that he recollected singing them and heard them. And so it was a very moving time for me. I dedicated this album as a fundraiser to Ananda, India. And at the next morning after the recording session, Swamiji said to me over breakfast, he said, "Ram, I want you to sing popular music, just like the spirituals, and I want you to spiritualize them and sing them with my songs in concert." And I said, "Swamiji, I don't understand. These are not your songs." He said, "No, I want you to sing songs like this. Like the beat, beat, beat of the tom-tom when the jungle shadows fall. Like the tick, tick, tock of the stately clock as it stands against the wall." I'm saying, what's going on here? Swami is singing the Cole Porter song, Night and Day, at the breakfast table. Night and day, you are the one, only you beneath the moon and under the sun, whether near to me or far. Oh, darling, no matter where you are, I think of you day and night, night and day. I had never heard this song before. Swami sang this whole song to me, and he says, "I want you to sing songs like this to Divine Mother." And for years, I was meditating on the words of what he was saying to me on that occasion in September 2004 in Gurgaon, India. And it wasn't later on I was in a curio shop, in a antique shop, and there was the music of Cole Porter. the sheet music to Night and Day. And I said, what is this? And I bought that sheet music, and have never had the opportunity to actually perform that song until recently. And it was June of 2022. June of 2022, I did my first concert entitled Dare to Be Different. This was me as a solo singer, and I used to sing only with the Gandharvas or the Joy Singers or the World Brotherhood Choir. But in this particular instance, it was my first time singing Swami songs in addition to popular songs. Dare to Be Different, the song that he told to me, he said, Ram, this should be your theme song. This was much later on. In fact, he hadn't written Dare to Be Different in 2004, in September 2004. But he was talking to me in a very particular way. I don't think he said this to anyone else at Ananda, to sing popular songs. And so at this concert, where I sang Dare to Be Different as the starting a message for this whole concert, dare to be different, dare to be free, dare to roam far like wind on the sea. The next song that I sang was the one he said to me, the Cole Porter song, Night and Day. And I sang that song, and I'm learning to sing it more and more to Divine Mother, because Divine Mother is really the music, the song behind every song that Swami wrote. And he said, Ram, I want you to sing popular songs with my own and sing them all to Divine Mother. So I did the Cole Porter song that day, and a variety of other songs that have become very popular in America. The one that Elvis Presley made popular, wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. And there are a variety of other songs too. There's the one dedicated to Master by Eden Abez I included in the concert series. Nature Boy. There was a boy, a very strange, enchanted boy, and so forth. But in this unique dispensation that Swami made of me, it was always ending and coming back to his songs. Love is a Magician is a song that, in my opinion, overshadows all these other songs. Love is all I know, sun rays on the snow of a winter long, in darkness without song. Oh, my heart's afire, burning all desire. Only you remain, and life again. It really has a jazz sort of feel to it. And many of Swami's songs has that jazz sort of feel, because he, as a youngster at Scarsdale High, was the singer for one of the jazz bands there. We don't know all the songs that Swami sang as leader of the jazz band, but it did influence his music in some regards. But there's every one of those songs that Swami writes has the influence of Divine Mother behind it. especially Dark Eyes, and I included Dark Eyes in that concert that I did in June of 2022. I've known them forever, they've haunted my slumber and called to me out of the deeps of space. The power behind each one of these songs is transforms the heart and helps us to get closer to Divine Mother. If we can spiritualize popular music, and Swamiji gave me this dispensation that is totally unique in all of Ananda, and I'm doing a concert in 1 week in Palo Alto entitled "Dare to Be Different." World music to sing along with, and a tribute to Swami Kriyananda. So I'm singing these combination of songs as a unique expression of what Swamiji has asked me to do personally. And it's been a great inspiration to perform these songs with different people. And recently I've been performing these songs with a dear friend, Denise Ruelas, and she's a fantastic pianist and violinist, and she accompanied me on all of these songs. We have over 22 songs scheduled for next week in Palo Alto on January the 28th, 2023. So these concerts that I'm doing personally right now is something totally unique for myself, and presenting Swami's music to the world. And I pray and hope that I can inspire people to seek God as Mother, to bring the Divine Mother of the universe into their life through the singing of the popular songs and also the Divine Mother infused songs of Swami Kriyananda. I remember visiting Medjugorje, where Swamiji had visited back in the 1990s. The Virgin Mary was appearing to these children in Bosnia-Herzegovina, this communist country, and had been in civil war. And so during that time, Swamiji chose to go over, and Nandini was with him on that trip, and Miriam as well. 4 grown men had to carry Swamiji to the top of that mountain where the apparitions were being held. He was sitting in a chair, and 4 grown men carried him up a very steep slope full of rocks, almost impassable for anyone to get up there. When I arrived in Medjugorje, I had to find a walking stick to climb this mountain. It was so difficult for me. But everywhere I went when I visited Medjugorje, I sang Swami's song, dedicated to the Divine Mother, Mother Mary, the Mother of Jesus. Mother of wisdom, mercy, and grace, grant us thy vision, grant us thy peace. I didn't know the rosary, and so this became my mantra, Mother of Wisdom. I sang it in English, and I sang it in Italian. Madre di grazia, luce d'amor, mostro tuo volto risplende nel cuore. Everywhere I went for that week on pilgrimage in Medjugorje, I sang Mother of Wisdom. And at the very end of that week, she came. It was so, such a blessing. And it's a story that I want to write down someday. She came in 3 signs. It was so beautiful. And this is the power of the music of J. Donald Walters, Swami Kriyananda, who was a disciple of Paramahansa Yogananda, not just in this lifetime, but in other names, as William the First was coronized King of England. 1066, the Battle of Hastings, was the determining factor when William invaded. He was an avatar and a devotee of the Mother Mary. And the incarnation after that, William became, this avatar king became a king in Spain. He was known as Fernando, and then his son, Alfonso, was the incarnation of Kriyananda. The Swamiji, in that lifetime, he wrote hundreds of pieces of music dedicated to the Virgin Mary. And even in the Roman Catholic Church today, you can Google it, songs written by Alfonso the Third. I might be getting the third and the 10th confused. But his father, who was Fernando, the San Fernando Valley in Los Angeles was named after him. And that's where Yogananda's body has been laid to rest, on San Fernando Road at Forest Lawn Mortuary. The ties are really magnificent. These are the mysteries of God. These are the mysteries of incarnations that we're all playing out. But Swamiji's music, when he wrote as Alfonso, that music is still played on the internet. You can Google it and listen to it. The choirs, the Roman Catholic choirs singing to the Divine Mother. And I believe that Swami Kriyananda's music, J. Donald Walters' music, Mother of Wisdom, will be sang for centuries, millennial to come, as long as this planet exists. And Master said it will go through evolution. But these songs of Swamiji's will inspire multitudes. That's my inspiration of bringing it to the world. I was there at the Vatican in 1988 when Pope John Paul II was giving an audience before 10,000 people in our little World Brotherhood choir, 17 individuals from Ananda Village, which I was the spiritual director at the time. I was blessed to be there working with Swamiji and developing the work at that time from 1984 until 1991. I lived there in Italy. And so we were at the Vatican and we began to sing as a warm-up, Door of My Heart, Porta del mio cuore, in Italian. And the 10,000 people began to sing with us. Porta del mio cuore, tengo aperta io per te. Verai tu, una volta vieni a me. And so the people began to sing with us without any introduction. That chant of Masters, Paramahansa Yogananda, Door of My Heart. And when the Pope came out, we sang Thy Light Within Us Shining. We recorded that, and it's on YouTube. And the Pope just went wild. Pope John Paul II, he came out and when he heard that music, he just started doing this, just going wild. And then he came up to the choir. It was all documented by Vatican television. And I preserved that documentation over the years, and I just published it on my site on YouTube. And he came by and blessed the choir. He blessed everyone. And we gave him Autobiography of a Yogi. And the interesting thing was, 3 years after that event at the Vatican, we got a call from the Jesuit order. Unfortunately, I had returned to America, and the choir was not together at the time. But the head of the Jesuit order, they contacted us and they invited us to come sing at their national convention in Turin, Italy. And the director at the time, he said, well, the choir is really not together here. Maybe we should send you something about who we are. And the Jesuit representative said, oh, we know everything about who you are. We saw you at the Vatican singing for Pope John Paul II. That's why we want to invite you. It never happened, unfortunately. There was some confusion at that time about whether the choir could pull it off, and so it never happened. But Swami had us to go out and sing. I wasn't a part of the group, but Lewis Howard and David Gamow and Karen Gamow and different people from Ananda went on a nationwide tour throughout Italy and sang in all the churches. All the doors were open to us. And I'm sure some of the other singers can testify to that. I wasn't a part of it, but they were out on the road for an entire year or two singing. And people were so inspired by the music. And our current Assisi choir is very, very powerful. It's been taken to a whole nother level with Peter Tellis. Anyway, it's been a great blessing for me to represent Ananda music, Swami Kriyananda's music, J. Donald Walter's music. He said, on my oratorio music, I want my Christian name. And on other music, I want Swami Kriyananda. And I was blessed to be with Swamiji, and this will be my last story. When he and Rosanna visited the Holy Land, the first Holy Land pilgrimage, we sang in all the places, the oratorio, at the various shrines in Israel. And it was a great blessing for me to be a part of that. And we're so blessed through this music. Mother of Wisdom, Thy Light Within Us Shining, all the songs. You can't choose one song better than the other. They're all inspired by God to lift the consciousness of this planet to a whole new level of realization, of world brotherhood, of world sisterhood, of world humanhood. to know that we are all children of the one God, come here for one purpose and one purpose only, to bring not only peace on earth, but peace within our own hearts and unite our souls as Swami did and as our Guru, Paramahansa Yogananda, did and lived for God alone, to transform this planet, to bring God into every aspect of daily life in this Yuga of Dwapara, this Yuga of energy. No matter where we are in the universe, on this physical planet Earth or on some other planet, may the Divine Mother reign supreme. Om Shanti Shanti. In 1987, 1988, in Assisi, our choir, the Joy Singer Choir, Cantante della Gioia, we went to the Basilica of St. Francis to audition with the monks. There was a particular brother there, Father Testa, and he was a friend of ours because we would bring pilgrimage groups over the years to Assisi, and we developed a relationship with the brothers, the Franciscan brothers, at the Basilica of St. Francis in Assisi. And so Padre Testa had us come, and he said, I want to come down to the tomb of St. Francis. I want to like to hear some songs of yours. And we began to sing some of Swami's songs dedicated to St. Francis of Assisi. And he said, your music's of God. Let's go up to the upper basilica area where the Cimabue paintings, the frescoes of St. Francis are, where all the crowds are, and let's sing up there and see what happens. And we went up, and we began to sing, and the people in the upper basilica just swarmed us. And so Padre Testa said to us, anytime you want to come here and sing, you're welcome. And he said to us, you should sing for the Pope. And that's how we got the idea of actually singing for the Pope. But then we asked him, we heard that there's a John Denver concert happening here, Father, that's happening in the next week. And, we were thinking perhaps we could meet John Denver and, be the lead-in act for his concert here. He said, well, I don't know about that, but, if you wanted to come before the concert and sing, you could do that on your own. There wouldn't be any problem on our end on that. But if you want, John Denver's coming to have lunch with us the following day. I will introduce you to John when he comes for lunch, and you can introduce yourself to him. And it was a huge thing for us, our little Joy Singer group, because we were thinking, oh, gosh, maybe John Denver would be willing to pick up one of Swamiji's songs like Brothers or Peace or, something that has an upbeat feel to it. Rocky Mountain High, for those who don't know John Denver, he's was a well-known American folk singer. Country Road, Take Me Home, Rocky Mountain High, that sort of thing. And so sure enough, the next day before his concert, our Joy Singer group sang Swami songs before the John Denver concert. Lakshman the First, Nirmala, Kirtani, Dhyana, and myself. And the crowd just loved our music. And we sold out all of our cassettes. We had cassette tapes in those days, not CDs or MP3 online. And this one little girl, remember, this one little girl came up to us after our set, before the concert actually started, the John Denver concert started. She said, you know, my mommy and daddy, we love your music. We want to buy your cassette. There were Americans who were coming from an army base called Camp Darby in Pisa, Italy. And they were there for the John Denver concert. They heard us sing. They had never heard any type of music, the spiritual music of Swamiji, before in their lives. And for the first time, they heard that music and bought the cassette. And afterwards, we were waiting to meet John Denver the next day at lunch with the brothers. And Father Testa said, well, John, and John Denver strolls up to the meet Father Testa, and he's got a cowboy hat on and cowboy boots. He's got a beautiful blonde on his arm, his partner. And, well, John, welcome to the Basilica. We have some friends here from America, the Joy Singers, and they like to share a song. The Joy Singers, they like to share a song. Yeah, hi, John. My name is Ram Smith, and, we come from Nevada City. And, oh, well, we have this song, Brothers, that we'd like to share with you that might be something of interest for you to take on the road. Well, Ram, it's really great, but, I have lunch with the brothers. I can't hold them up. Send me a cassette, the music to John Denver in care of Aspen, Colorado, and I'll listen to it and get back with you. And so that was our introduction to John Denver. And we did send all that information to him and hope that he would pick up some of our music, but nothing ever transpired. But it was a blessing just to be singing at the Basilica, to meet John Denver, and to eventually sing for the Pope from the suggestion of Padre Testa. That's the story. The music was such an inspiration in Lake Como. Lake Como, we started a retreat center in 1984, and I was blessed to be a part of it. And we had a little singing group, I Cantanti della Gioia, the Joy Singers we called ourselves. And it was Lakshman the First, Nirmala, Diana, and Kirtani. And so we had our first paid gig in Lake Como, and the local magistrate invited us to sing in the square in this little town in Val di Intelvi above the lake, where our Villa Rombelotti was located. And this was our first paid gig in Italy. And so the announcer came out in Italian, and our Italian wasn't all that good in those days. But we could understand the fellow. He was speaking in Italian. He says, we're really privileged today in our little village here in Lake Como to have the Joy Singers with us. They don't smoke, they don't drink, they don't eat meat, but they have a lot of joy, folks. Give us a round of applause for the Joy Singers. We came out and sang Swami songs in English. Even at that first paid gig, people understood the vibrations of Swami's music going all beyond the English language and touching the language of the heart. That's the power of this music. And those people in that gathering they were transformed. Another story on the choir in Italy. We really had gotten it together under the direction of Joseph Ferraro Agni. And we performed during two Roman Catholic competitions. The first were choir competitions for songs dedicated to the Virgin Mary. There were, I don't know, 30 choirs involved in this competition in this Roman Catholic church outside of Rome. And others who were there might want to mention it, but we sang Mother of Wisdom. And we 17 people in our choir, and we won second prize. The first prize winner came from Budapest, Hungary, a 60-voice choir. They won first prize, and our little 17 voices won second prize. This song of Swamiji's, Mother of Wisdom, in a Roman Catholic ecumenical choir competition. And we represented Ananda Assisi. It was a significant time. After my leaving Italy in 1991, the choir sang later in a competition of songs dedicated to world peace. And we sang the song Pace that Swami translated from the English into Italian with Gabriella Ricci from Pisa, our center leader in Pisa. They were driving in the car and one day and taking Swami to a talk. So Swami translated the song Peace into Italian with Gabriella and Cesare that day in the car. And that became the first prize winner to songs dedicated to world peace in this Italian competition for songs dedicated for the peace on this planet. So it's significant to know that. Thank you.
Quando mi perdo, quando piango, so che tu sei con me. Vivo solo per amarti, oh Signore. Dio nella notte, Dio nel buio, seguirò sempre te. Quando mi perdo, quando piango, so che tu sei con me. Vivo solo per amarti, oh Signore. Vivo solo per amarti, oh Signore.